baby. So listen, I got a word for you. I don't know who needs to hear this, but somebody needs to hear this. Listen, a lot of times when you are trying to grow and you're stuck, it is because of your relationship with your mother. Let me tell you, let me break this down to you. See, a lot of times women point the finger at the dad, especially when the dad is not in the home. They manipulate the child to believe that the dad is no good and that the dad, didn't have the mother's best interest at heart. But the child doesn't know what the mother role was in the dad's life. Like, were you a side chick? Like, were you even being respectful in your femininity? Or how were you with him? Like, no one ever takes a step back to see how their relationship was and what part the mother played in the father not being in the home. Now, obviously, a man is a man and he holds equal responsibility when it comes to showing up for a child. Okay, so I am not saying that. Okay, no one can control anyone. But there is some level of a hold that I've noticed that a mother has on a child when they tend to play the victim when it comes to the relationship with the father, when they're always pointing the finger at the father. It is because they don't want you to know who they really are. See, a person who doesn't show you their dark side, meaning a person who never takes accountability for their wrongs, never, vocalize their shortcomings, never can tell you exactly how they played a role in certain relationships, is a person who is manipulative. See, because in order to transfer energy, you have to acknowledge it, right? So if a person is in a relationship and they have never took accountability, never acknowledged their wrong in that relationship, then that is a person who has never grown. See, and so the only way for them to make you feel as if they understand your pain or they understand, what you're trying to go after in terms of your purpose, the life that you're trying to live, they will always hide their hand to make you feel like they're also striving for that. But in order to strive for that, you got to have your grass cut low, meaning you have to make right with the wrongs, right? You have to take accountability for your part. And I see a lot of women hiding their hand, a lot of women point fingers at men, but never talking about what they did and being honest with their children about how the relationship ended. See, and you got to understand that children love their mothers. They love their mothers so very much that is literally their heart. Okay, and the Bible says out of the heart flows the issues of life. So a lot of times we don't understand why we so stuck. It is because you have never stood up to your mother. You don't even know yourself because you don't know your mother. You've been believing so many lies. But when you get to the point where you can be honest with yourself and you can be honest about how you feel and you start truly being authentic, then that's when you're going to hold and you're going to require a different standard from people, and you're going to be able to see who cannot stand in the light. Because people who can't stand in the light are people who have not acknowledged their wrongs. It is people who cannot take accountability. Okay? When you start being authentic about how you feel and what you want out of life, okay, and start pointing the finger back at you and say, if it has to be done, it's going to be done on my time. When you start changing, okay, it is going to shine a light on everything that is toxic in your life. You got to be able to stand up to anybody. The Bible says if you kneel before God, you can stand before anybody. That includes your mother. Okay. Now, we're not talking about disrespecting your mother, okay? Because you should never disrespect your elders. I tell you, don't disrespect anyone. Anyone that's causing you to go into a negative, low vibration of disrespect is a person who don't even deserve your energy, because the highest frequency is love. And in order to deal with someone who is disrespectful, you got to come down. And I'm not coming down for nobody unless I'm kneeling before God, okay? And that's me being humble. See, I want you to recognize this, because a lot of times People don't realize what it's going to require, the work that it is going to require for you to reach the highest expression of yourself. You're going to have to face people. You're going to have to be able to look people in the eye and say, don't talk to me that way. I will not tolerate that. That's not disrespectful. That's you choosing you. That's you loving you. That's you saying, no, I don't even want to talk to you that way. So why would I allow you to talk to me that way? See, when you start operating in your divinity, when you start operating in your true purpose, your true calling, which is love, baby, the highest expression that there is, okay? Authenticity and love, which is God, and it is flowing through you. When you honor that energy, it is going to eradicate everything out of your life that is not vibrating on that frequency. So I don't know who needed to hear this, but I made sure I was obedient to deliver the message, okay? So truth, love, and transparency always coming from your girl. Remember to leave something in the comment and repost this, okay? Somebody else needs to hear it. All right now. Peace.